What is your take on the whole climate crisis? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think more action needs to be taken? Are you and your brother against taking action yourselves? I am super against taking action against climate change. And I will tell you why. Sea levels are not rising. That's been proven to be false. Ice caps are not melting. But the levels of CO2 in the atmosphere are going up, and humans probably do contribute to that. I'm not saying it causes more extreme weather. I'm not saying the Earth is getting colder or hotter. First it was global warming. Global warming is over. Now they're just calling it climate change. It's massively politicized, but one, I'm not here to talk about whether it's real or not. But I'm gonna give you two scenarios. One, it's very real and the world is ending because of it. And two, it's not real and it's a Chinese conspiracy. I'm gonna give you my answer on both of these so you can adopt a healthy mindset, because my answer to both of them is exactly the same. The answer is, and when I say this, I'm not saying it from a place of ignorance. When I say it's none of my fucking business to try to stop climate change, I really do mean that. Let's take the last crisis in pollution. The last crisis in human pollution, humans polluting, was in the Middle Ages. After the Dark Ages, into the Middle Ages, when people started living in cities and towns, human feces and excrement and urine was everywhere. You could not walk down the streets. People threw it out of their windows. There was no sewage systems in place. A lot of the stones, if you look at the city of Pompeii in Rome that was buried, the stones have stepping stones over the roads, because the roads were filled, even in some Roman cities, with human excrement, feces, mess, animal dung, etc. Now, every city on earth, from Paris to London to Rome, were covered in this stuff. And it was a real health crisis. People were dying. Cholera, all sorts of diseases. The water was infected. People had to drink alcoholic drinks, boil their water first. It was a mess. How did that problem get solved? I'll tell you how it didn't get solved. It didn't get solved by protests, and it didn't get solved by one person saying, you know what, I'm not going to urinate in this bucket and throw it out the window. I'm just going to walk 10 miles every time I do it. Because that wouldn't have made a difference. It really wouldn't have. It got solved on a governmental level. It got solved on the level of the cities and the governments and the kings of Europe getting together and thinking, you know what, we need to construct vast sewage systems under these cities that flush this garbage out, keep our cities clean. And on a governmental level, when the governments had enough money, the governments fixed the problem. It is not my job to worry about climate change. And it is not my job to worry about climate change, even though I am a man with 28 different supercars in Romania and 3 supercars here in Dubai. Me driving supercars is not going to change the inevitable outcome of this horrible, dangerous climate change that's going to destroy the world. We're doing the it's going to destroy the world route right now. What's going to happen is some smartass, some researcher in China, India, Russia, one of the countries that are the future of humanity, is going to realize a way of stopping, or of at least trapping, the carbon dioxide that humans release into the atmosphere and getting rid of it somehow. That's what's going to fix the problem. If you knew that the 9 largest container ships in the world, the 9 largest ships, boats on Earth, pollute more per day than every single car on the roads in the United Kingdom combined, you would understand that living in England and buying a Tesla, which is, by the way, charged by your power plant, which emits coal and CO2 via its coal and oil burning, isn't going to fix the problem. If you buy a Tesla and say it's for climate change, it is a virtue signal. So I'm going to keep my Bugattis, I'm going to keep my Ferraris, and the more cars I buy, the more taxes the government has off me, and the better armed it is to deal with climate change. And if climate change isn't real, then my answer's the same. Not my fucking problem.